Okay, I've talked about the Illinois Tollway Authority before, and I'm going to do it again because I caught them up in something rather interesting. Now, I got this itemization, this report from them, right, where they show this traffic cam video, this really awful black video with a plate on it that's so dark I really can barely make the numbers out, with a list on the back of these transactions, and you see that I've marked them off, right? I've been systematically marking these off with highlighter because they were paid. So I get this notice that I owe 132.20 because of unpaid tolls, which I did drive through the tolls and didn't have any money. And of course, they're cash only unless you have an iPass, and I don't go on the Illinois Tollway often enough that I would be bothered with an iPass. Didn't have any cash, so went back and paid on their automated system. And then I get this notice telling me I missed tolls all the way back through November last year. And because I don't trust the Illinois Tollway Authority because of the problems I've already had with them, which nobody should trust them. They've actually had, I believe, a governor was impeached over tollway corruption, as well as several other lawmakers on a few occasions, historically speaking. But because I don't trust them, I save all those emails. And I went back and I compared this list of dates, times, and toll locations to my emails, and I paid them all. So we call up the Tollway Authority to confront them about it, in which the person who answers the phone's a volunteer. What the hell is up with that? Why are uh, why are the phones at the Tollway Authority being answered by a volunteer? Who are these volunteers? Who volunteers for that? Is this community service for people who can't pay their tolls? Just asking. But call them up and I'm like, yeah, I've got this statement that I owe 132.20 for toll violations. And she was like, and she looks it up and she's like, oh yeah, I have it here. How would you like to make your payment? And I was like, well, no, listen, because I've got these printouts, which I printed off all the emails here, right? I've got a stack of them. I printed off all my emails that verify payment of my tolls. There's the one from November, paid $1.50, whatever. And so I was like, yeah, I've got the payment for that one here. And she looks at it and she said, oh yeah, I see that here. You're right. And I'm like, okay. And then she asked me about the next one. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to tell you, I got the copy of this one too. Doesn't verify it. She's just like, oh yeah, I see that now, with every one of them. All 6 violations. Seriously? You couldn't see it until I mentioned it, but you're sitting there looking at it. And I'm supposed to trust that? So if I didn't sit there and say, hey, I've got copies of these, I can prove I paid it, you would have just taken, you just would have taken 132.20 from me like a jackass and just gone on like that. So I gotta wonder how many people get these kind of notices and just pay it without checking, without verifying, without being able to prove that they did pay it. Maybe they go to the traffic court and they get their ass handed to them because it's all the same team mentality. It sounds like a scam to me. You don't just send notices on bills that are already paid. And by the way, like I said, I keep all the records. I Something struck me familiar about this, and I went back and I looked because we had like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, 3 traffic cam violations that came together for right turn on red, claiming that we didn't stop fast enough. And I don't know what I did with the sheet. I wanted to show you. It's the exact same photo. It's the exact same photo. Little super dark black photo with a plate that you can't even read. And I'm like, did they use the same photograph? Because there's no time or date stamp on any of these pictures. There never has been. So they have like this horrible black and white photo of what may be my license plate. Um, and that's their justification for charging violations on a tollway authority that shouldn't even be there. Because, they talk about all the time, and they have since the 1980s. I think they've been promising to shut down the tollways because it was only supposed to be a temporary project. And so that every once in a while, some politician throws that out. Oh, we're going to shut down the tollway authority. And everybody in Illinois sits there in bated breath waiting for it to happen. And I'm just going to tell you right now, it's never going to happen, if for no other reason than because of their revenue bonds. Now, if you don't know what a revenue bond is, it's when a state or government organization that has a business, or rather that has a functionality that operates like a business, like the Tollway Authority. They collect money, they employ people, they can sell bonds to expand on projects when their projects might go over budget. So they've been selling bonds for quite a long time. And they use the bond money to expand the tollways. And they expand the tollways because they need more money to pay the bonds off. So they're selling bonds to make more money to pay the bonds they already owe on. But since they're selling more bonds, they owe more. And they're currently more than $4 billion in debt to bondholders. More than $4 billion in debt. And then they want to sit there and the next argument is that, oh, well, we're creating jobs. They always throw that, oh, we're creating jobs. Really? Was it something like 700 plus people working in toll booths? You want to employ 700 plus other people, open a Walmart. They probably make about the same amount. It's no justification to fleece millions of people annually and to run scams like this with the claim that you're creating jobs. It's bullshit.